we go. Well, we've had match number 15. We've got another one coming up very soon indeed. Match 16. It is the Northern Warriors against the Bangla Tigers. A couple of sides that have lost their last game, and they can do with a victory. One of these two guys will be very, very happy when that does happen. Just getting ready now to have the toss before that game gets underway. Righto, let's go downstairs and join Danny Morrison.
Okie dokie. It is that time. We've got the toss of the coin. Gentlemen alongside, David Jukes is our match referee. There are too many jokes and too many parties, Mr. Jukes. And the two captains, Angelo Matthews and Benny Howell. Who's stolen the coin? You've got it. Thank you, Angelo.
Tails.
Call?
Okay, you have a ball? Okay.
Angelo, you've won it and are going to...
Ball first.
You like bowling first. Everyone quite likes bowling first, but, you know, the pitch hasn't changed, has it?
Yeah, it has been the trend, isn't it? I mean, you know, only thing because we know what's in front of us. And probably the wicket wouldn't change much anyway. So we would like to try and keep them to a good, you know, chaseable total.
You'd like to win. You lost your last game. Have you made any changes for this one?
Yeah, it was a shocker yesterday. I thought our bowling and fielding was not up to the mark. We did a lot of mistakes, but you know, looking to rectify this today. Yeah, we've got one change. The wicket keeper misses out. Rahul Chopra comes in.
Okay, you behave yourself. Go well. Rev those Warriors up. They're going to bowl first, funnily enough. Doesn't really matter. You just get on with it. For you guys, like the Warriors, they lost yesterday. What would you rectify today?
Obviously, ideally, we get a few more runs and take our chances in the field. I think yesterday we didn't quite take our chances to give ourselves that sniff, but today is a different day.
It is a different day, different pitch. Looks a little drier. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it does look a little dry. I mean, obviously, slow balls can come into play, and you've got to keep it mixing up. I mean, this game's pretty brutal at times, so yeah, you've got to keep them guessing.
Now then, Benny Howell, have you made any changes to the Tigers?
Yes, Krishlin comes in, Vishka, Fernando...
Krishlin goes out?
Goes out, sorry. Yes, he comes out, and Vishka comes in.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, thank you, Benny. I can tell you here, the Warriors win the toss, go up front, they're going to shape a couple early with the ball.
Thank you, Danny. Righto, now here's what's happening for the rest of the day. Match number 15 is done. Sampami got up against the Bulls, so that's a beauty. Match number 16 coming up next, of course, Warriors versus the Tigers. And then match number 17, the Deccan Gladiators against the Chennai Braves. That's going to be a little bit later as well. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have the presentation. Oh, here we go.
He's not there. It just zips out. Often there's a 3-minute break. Oh, here we go.
What a good game we had for match number 15. Delhi Bulls not quite posting enough for that 95. Vince top scorer, shard and hold of the wicket takers, 3 and 3. And Sampan reply, well, it was neck and neck for a long time. 96 for 6 they got. And they won by 4 wickets at the end. And it was Najibullah with 25 who did that damage. So good work from him. Right, downstairs the presentation and joining Erin.
Yes, good evening and welcome to the post-match presentation for match number 15 of the Abu Dhabi T10 powered by SatSport News. Today, between the Morrisville Sump Army and the Delhi Bulls, live, of course, from our beautiful city of Abu Dhabi. My goodness, well, the momentum certainly rocked and rolled around in that one. But in the end, a big congratulations to the Morrisville Sump Army who were victorious this evening. On behalf of the tournament, though, I would love to take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude for the continued support of the Department of Culture, Tourism, Abu Dhabi Sports Council, Abu Dhabi Cricket and Sports Hub, the Emirates Cricket Board, and, of course, T10 Global. We also love to thank our incredible sponsors, SatSport News, Bimal, Aerario, Aliwond A2 and My Dubai. Thank you so much for your wonderful support as always. Now I'd like to welcome our esteemed presentation party. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Fujel Faruqi on behalf of SatSport News, Mr. Manish Kishore, the CEO of the Delhi Bulls, and Mr. Ritesh Patel on behalf of the Morrisville Sump Army. All right, let's hand out a few awards, shall we? Up first, the Magic Moment of the Match Award for 1,000 dirhams is presented by Mr. Ritesh Patel. And the award goes to Jason Holder for that incredible catch to dismiss the very, very dangerous Riley Russo. Congratulations to him. Well, we love our big hits here in the Abu Dhabi T10, which of course brings us to our power hitter of the match award. It's for another 1,000 dirhams this evening, and it's presented by Mr. Manish Kishore, and the award goes to Faf du Plessis. 30 runs of just 17 balls for him today. He was absolutely wonderful. 3 sixes, strike rate of over 176. Got the job done for the Sump Army today. And our third and final award of the evening is the Player of the Match Award for another 1,000 dirhams. And it's presented by Mr. Fujel Faruqi. And the award goes to Jason Holder. 3 wickets for just 15 runs. And, of course, that brilliant effort in the outfield. A wonderful all-round performance by him. And he's going to come over and just say a few more words about what ended up being a really crucial performance with the ball. Obviously, the hat-trick went begging, but what did you like about the conditions out there to bowl on today? Yeah,
I've been enjoying it. I think the conditions are pretty much suited to my style of bowling, and, I've been able to get, a couple early wickets as well, which helps, get some dot balls in up front. And then coming back in that power play over, it's good to start the over well. I think once I started the over well, it was easier at the back end of it.
What can you tell us about the conditions out there too? Obviously, it wasn't a high-scoring affair, but it came down to the wire.
Yeah, it's one of those wickets where I think as a bowler you're always in it, but I think as a batter you need to spend time. I don't think as a wicket you could just come and strike from ball one. So it's tricky conditions. I think up front it does swing a bit as well too. So as a batter I think you still need to give yourself a few balls to get yourself in. And
let's talk about this as a format too, because as a bowler it's so unforgiving. Every ball is a death ball. How do you sort of attack your innings, and does it affect your plans when you come into playing cricket's fastest format at all?
I think you've just got to have an open mind. I think if you have the open mind mentality is a lot easier. You expect the unexpected, and that's just in my mindset personally. I think if you get set in your ways or set in one particular way, it becomes a little bit difficult if it doesn't go that way. So I just think you've just got to have a really open mind and be clear and just execute. And
a short memory, right? Just in case you go for a few.
At some stage you probably might go for a few. Just got to accept it and move on.
Oh, you're absolutely awesome tonight. Congratulations for being our player of the match.
Thank you.
Now my absolute pleasure to welcome in the winning captain, Moeen Ali. Moeen, Sumper on the roll now, which must feel pretty good. You feel like the side's a little bit settled now?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're just picking up momentum at the right time. We're winning quite ugly at times, which is quite nice in a competition. We haven't played our perfect game yet, which hopefully will come in the next couple of games.
Well, let's talk about how impressive the bowling unit was as well, because when you've only got to chase 95 in this format of the game, it did come down to the wire, but you have to be happy with how they performed.
Yeah, we've been bowling really well and fielding well, but our bowlers in particular have bowled fantastically well. Either the seamers and the spinners, which is always great. As a captain, makes my life a lot easier. But yeah, awesome. Great to keep a great side. I think they're one of the best sides in the competition. to 94, whatever it was, and then to chase it in the way we did was awesome as well.
We had Andre's house back today, which was great, and to see Faf 2+C firings, obviously, got to make you pretty happy. And
yeah. I mean, they always Faf's obviously experienced, and he's a brilliant player. And I think to have Gauss up top to go hard, and he's playing with a little bit of an injury, which is great for us. But we're playing well, but I still feel we can play better with the bat.
Oh, well, can't wait to see what the Sump Army brings then, because it was a wonderful win today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks very much.
All right, well, that is the end of the post-match presentation, but still so much more action to come here in the Abu Dhabi T10. Another match on the cards for us right after this. It is the Bangla Tigers taking on the Northern Warriors. Stick with us.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
T10 here in Abu Dhabi. This is the fifth season here in the Abu Dhabi, but 7 overall. We've got match 16. The Warriors taking on the Tigers here. And let's catch up with a couple of players in action here tonight.
Obviously, it's the fastest format. We get the T20s and now with the T10. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a T5 in a few years' time comes in. But the game is getting faster and faster, and it's a lovely format. We enjoy it. Challenges are hit the ball from ball number one, basically, because you don't have time to sort of settle in, knock it around. You have to get as much as you can, and obviously in 10 overs you got wickets in hand, so might as well go for it from ball one. It's obviously a lot of entertainment because people obviously don't want to sort of spend a lot of time sitting in one place, and so this is just 2 hours you're done with the game. So it's quite easy for the spectators as well. So I think it'll definitely pick up in the future. It'll be a lot more entertaining as well. I'm in a phase where I enjoy my cricket. How many more years? It all depends on fitness and form, obviously. But I'm enjoying my cricket and traveling the world, and obviously look to try and contribute in any game and any format. because I'm just not labelled as one format player. So I can play in all formats. So I enjoy every single format. Obviously, the most important format for me is Test cricket. That's the pinnacle of cricket. But I enjoy playing league cricket as well. I haven't decided, to be honest. Cricket is what I enjoy. That's my passion, and I still love the game, and I still enjoy it. So that's all that matters. I just keep going for as long as possible. As long as I'm fit and performing, I'll just try to enjoy myself for as long as possible. I think winning a Test series in England in 2014 was kind of the pinnacle of my career, and also obviously 2014 was probably one of the best years for Sri Lanka cricket after 1996, because we won a World Cup, 2020 World Cup, we won the Asia Cup, and we won a Test series in England, so we created history over there. So it was so 2014 was probably one of the best years of my career. I have no regrets, to be honest. Because I've played the game to the best of my ability and given 100% in every single game. So I've got no regrets. Performance obviously you cannot control, but the effort you can. So I always give my 100% wherever I play, whether it's domestic cricket or club cricket or whatever cricket. I try to win and give my 100%. As I said before, this is my passion. This is what I love. This is what I have been doing from 6 years probably. And I had so much of injuries over the last 15-16 years, but I always had that motivation to sort of keep going and not give up. I thank my family and my wife and the kids as well, because they've been an inspiration for me. They've been a strength to me. So I'm just lucky to be here and enjoy and perform. When I was growing up, I looked up to Jack Callis, and one of my idols is our coach now, Chaminda Vas. He's played 100 Test matches in Asia. Being an Asian, playing 100 Test matches, being an Asian fast bowler, playing 100 Test matches is something unreal, very special. And I've seen how hard he worked to get there, and he was an inspiration to all of us, and I'm one of his biggest fans. Sangha is one of my favorites, Kumar Sangakkara. Obviously, Mahela was also very, very good. Sachin and Virat, obviously, Jack Callis, all these guys are amazing. Ricky Ponting I played against. So these guys are legends of the game, and I'm so lucky to be around them. See, I did not fear anyone. There were bowlers who were quite difficult, but it didn't fear me as such. But Johnson was really rapid when he was in top form. Dale Steyn was one of them. So there were quite a few bowlers who were really good and fast, but I didn't kind of fear them.
Well, shorter for a start. Obviously, batter's got to be a bit more aggressive and try and use the balls as well as possible, and that creates a lot of big sixes and a lot of boundaries. Yeah, well, it's my first time playing the format this year, so I'm as curious as anyone to have a look and see what it's like. And it's obviously a shorter format of the game, so it lends itself to, I suppose, festival style cricket with multiple games a day, like we see with sort of the sevens rugby, and it certainly has that festival kind of atmosphere to it that people enjoy. Yeah, I think it's something that's probably changed a bit over the last couple of years. I think it's become more difficult, and I think kids these days are growing up with social media as a part of their existence, and it probably needs to be looked at, to be honest. But I think as long as you, I suppose, understand that it's not real, it's sort of a lot of made up stuff and people hiding behind keyboards that wouldn't say things like that in real life. and just sort of take the good with the bad, I guess, and try and have some fun. Beating India in the semi-final of the 2019 World Cup. Yeah, not hitting the 5th ball was super over 6, and for obvious reasons. Yeah, it probably started for me just in the backyard, I guess, or in the car park across the road, just with cousins and that kind of thing, playing cricket. And yeah, I suppose I always just really played for fun. I didn't really think too much about it becoming a career, so probably only really realised that that was a possibility when I was 17 or 18, I think. Andrew Flintoff, bowled quick, hit the ball a long way, good fielder. Favourite batter ever, Stephen Fleming. And the hardest bowler I've faced is Sunil Narayan. Golf and coffee and just hang out with my friends at home.
Yeah, a couple of stars. You look at that lineup there, Matthews and Neesham together. We've just seen some good interviews, some good chat. Hopefully, see some insights and hear some insights from the players. Very good side, the Warriors. We know lots of balance. You know, their bowling and their batting. And then the Bangla Tigers, the missing name there is Chris Lynn. He is out of the lineup. So Geordie Cox out in the middle. He's having time of it. That hot of that 90 not out, which has set things up. Always Shah alongside, and you're going to talk about talent in this guy. Man, he's got it all around the clock.
It certainly does, and this format of the game does unearth a lot of talent over the years. We've seen the likes of Jackson Roy, James Vince, and now, of course, Cox, who really is a class act when it comes to this form of the game, and of course his partner at the other end, Avishka Fernando, age of 25, and they have the pleasure of opening the batting for the Tigers. Meanwhile, it's going to be the veteran Angelo Matthews with the ball for the Northern Warriors.
Yeah, as he's done so often. Just to throw that in there, Chris Lynn, he's out, and Nane, he is being dropped. Left out of the side, and Fernando, he's in. Avishka Fernando and Hyder Ali are in. Here comes Matthews. And immediately a little push and go. And comfortably through to open the account.
Well, Angelo Matthews started to open the bowling. It was a late addition in the World Cup earlier in November in the Sri Lankan squad. Wasn't out there from the start, and of course was famously timed out in that game against Bangladesh, which certainly did make me chuckle. However, here he is with the brand new rock for the Northern Warriors, and he has got young Coxie against him.
Deep pointers out. A little bit of shape off the seam, and a deep backward square. The two gentlemen outside, so both on square for Matthews and his medium pace, and deceptive in terms of a bit of carry. He's not as quick as he once was, of course, but he's in his twilight, you'd have to say, of his career, but he'd like to push on and keep playing a bit of this T10 on the circuit. Young Christopher Lynn, not so. He's got 1 0 and 0 and dropped himself, he was saying. I saw him there before the toss. This is a nice stroke. It is typical of Cox to get underway in this fashion.
Not sure about a nice shot, however, very effective in this form of the game. You do need boundaries, and that's exactly what Jordan Cox has delivered for the Tigers.
Which one have we got? Tigers at the bottom. Yeah, Tigers, their opening partnership has not been flash. Yeah, talk about timing. Geez, their average, because of a certain Chris Lynn, their average is 2.67. They'll be hoping for better things from the Pussycats out in the middle and also around the ground. Passion to the fore for the Bangla side. Yeah, so a bit of work to do, and they already they passed that average, thank goodness. The Tigers with the opening partnership, that is. Little flick. Oh, it's gone all the way. Their highest opening partnership this season, with tongue-in-cheek, it has to be said.
Well, Danny, you mentioned Bangla Tigers have been struggling from the start. Well, Fernando has just hoiked it over. Fine leg for a monster. And got a bit of momentum in the Tigers innings. Last ball this time is a thick edge. Back-to-back boundaries for the Tigers.
16 without lost. Fernando into the side. Chrislin out. So you look at the balance, it's pretty good. Benny Howe was saying, yeah, they'd just like to get some more runs and field a lot better in terms of some catching and outfielding. What do we got? A bit of spin here. There's the Sultan. Not of swing, of spin. Character, isn't he? Tries to catch it. He did well. That's the captain. Reel back the years, Angelo.
Well, certainly saved a boundary there, the skipper. Have a look at this last ball of the first over. Thick edge. Well, this game really is not fair at times. Back-to-back boundaries. A very good start. 16 off the first over is what the Tigers have managed. Fernando to face a second ball from the Sultan.
Tries to catch it again. Oh, about a fifth attempt, I reckon. Neesham. And the Sultan cuts loose with a celebration. Wow. We've seen the easy ones put down and all the hard ones taken. Neesham just.
Yeah, try to manufacture something out of nothing, really. I'll always check the front foot no ball. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. He was short of a length, not really there to try and hit over the top. Well, that Jimmy Neesham does make an absolute meal of it in the end. Manages to complete the catch and get rid of Avishka Fernando as he departs for 11. Tigers 17 for 1.
Crystal Mendes, Mr. Experienced, doesn't have a heck of a lot of Abu Dhabi T10, but one heck of a talent. Oh, he's underway straight away with a lovely late dab.
Well, you said he's talented. He puts that away with absolute ease. Look at the placement. Kusal Mendes had a very good World Cup for Sri Lanka. And he's just continuing in that form here at the T10 in Abu Dhabi. This time it's going to be a wide. So Northern Warriors proving a little bit expensive here at the start.
Yeah, Jimmy Neesham. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the end, it allows the Sultan to celebrate. It's in a straight line. Squeeze one. They've had a wide, so still got a couple to go. 7 off, and good thing for the Tigers. It means Cox has got the strike back. What, have got a real-time replay? Like you say, OS, they're trying to manufacture something that wasn't really there. Give it a little bit more of a look, maybe. Fernando, that is. Decided not to, and it's cost him. And the long handle has got air miles on this one. A flight out of Abu Dhabi, if you please.
Well, straight out of the screws, this one. Beautiful flourish with the bat as well by Coxie. When many a mile into the stands.
Oh, flashing. Brutal. What a stroke to finish. 17 off the second. Power play done. It's 33 for 1. First one down inside the power play. In fact, it's the Tigers' best power play this season of the Abu Dhabi T10, powered by Sat Sport News. We're waiting for Mr. Pakteen. He's making the signal. They're going to take the floating power play straight away. Got some momentum into it, and so he says, yep, let's take it in the third over. Between 3 and 9, you can take the power play. Oh, I wish that was you in your heyday. And that too.
Oh, I wish. Oh, I quite enjoyed that shot. Back-to-back boundaries. Sultan not happy with the way he ended that over. Proven to be rather expensive. Meanwhile, it's Mitten into the attack. 14 wickets in only 23 games. That's his T10 career.
I hope he sorted out his run-up. He starts with a full toss that gets pumped downtown. So he might still be blaming his run-up for his lack of rhythm and front foot issues.
But an absolute gift for Kusal Mendes. Nice juice, full toss. And he puts it away with ease.
Yeah, just want to check that waist high full toss. So Nigel Long is our television umpire upstairs. So Nigel's making some plans upstairs here. Let's find the front foot and point of contact. Oh, he's got a case, I suppose. I reckon that is just above. Yeah, I think it's another no ball. First time for the waist high. Yep, confirmation. Mitters! You mongrel. The coaching staff would be all over him. What are you doing? So it's time for a freebie. And Kusal Mendes will be the bearer of it. Let's have a look. Oh, bold. I'll end up squeezing a single.
Here he is, Mr. Pakteen, the on-field umpire from Afghanistan, and of course Mr. Shiju Manil, the man from the UAE, standing currently at square leg. In comes Mitten, banged in and dispatched into the boundary she goes.
Mr. Pakteen has been very busy with his signals just of late. He absolutely smashed this. Jordan Cox once again is in a hurry here in Abu Dhabi. 22 from 7, 2 and 2, 2 4s, 2 6s, and almost goes over the fence into the bank. Chimandavas, the great Sri Lankan left arm swinger. You're wondering what's going on with Mr. Mitten. Once again, some more work for umpire Pakteen. He's signal a no ball, a 6, now a wide. Very hectic.
Well, a great start for the Bangla Tigers. You mentioned earlier, Danny, it was the highest partnership so far. Sorry, highest power play score. They are just continuing on it beautifully. 46 for 1. Mitten, Cox trying to reverse sweep him, misses out, and the umpire has not given it a wide, much to the dismay of Mr. Cox.
He's looking complete disgust. He says, "Are you wearing glasses?" "Yes, you are, Mr. Pakteen." Yeah, that score in 90 the other evening had a heck of a load of scoops and reverse sweeps, switch hitting, you name it. He played an extraordinary innings of 360-degree batsmanship. And again, it's just so fluent. There's another boundary to Jordan Cox. 50 up for the Tigers.
Well, they're pretty happy with that. Yet another boundary from the bat of Cox, albeit from the toe of the bat. Don't think he quite middled it. However, Mitten is proving rather expensive for the Warriors. Already gone for 17 runs of just 4 deliveries. And there was also a free hit in there, Danny, which only went for a single. Jordan Cox strike rate, wow, we shade under 300.
Cox says no. He just says, Kush, take it easy. Because he'd lost his balance there and says he's done a mischief to his lower back there, swung himself off his feet. Yeah, quite extraordinary, that innings of 90 not out of just 36. He carves it pretty quickly. Even if he doesn't get a lot, he gets them early. Now he's 26 from just 10.
Yeah, innings of the tournament for me so far, that 90 not out. He was outstanding. This time walks across and he sweeps it well, and it's gone all the way. 23 off the over. That's the end of 3 overs. Tigers 56 for 1.
Yes, some tall construction going on for the Tigers, and as you'd expect, much to the blade of Geordie Cox. Time for Trebay Shamsi. Come on, Trebay. Let's see what you've got. The shoe man, as opposed to the soul man. Oh, he's off the stumps, but it was short enough. Thinking it too, it's easy. Yeah, a lot of room out there.
have another look at that 6. Walks across, sets her early, and then thank you very much. Sal Mendes sweeps hard, but straight to the fielder. So 2 runs so far. 3 runs so far of Shamsi's bowling. Good bit of captaincy, I like it. Bit of spin, take the pace off, and see how things progress here. That was that last over of Mithun, which proved rather expensive. 23 runs coming off that over, and Tigers now 59 for 1 are beautifully placed actually to get a big total from here on in.
He's so busy, Geordie Cox. He's looking to score off every delivery, whether it's sweeping, reverse sweeping, scooping, dabbing, going outside leg or off, over extra, over mid-on, you name it. He's the new Mr. 360. Jordan Cox. He's not on strike, it's Mendes at the moment. And again, wide open spaces out deep. Batters loving the slog sweep, whether they get hold of it or just dab it into a pocket.
Been a good over so far by Shamsi, mixing up his length and line. Cox eyeing up leg side, one feels. He's sitting on 33 of just 12 deliveries. Again into the leg side, they're going to try and get back for 2, but they won't. Kinar Lewis relatively quickly to the ball, keeps it down to a single, and only 6 conceded so far, so good over here for Shamsi so far. Love to see what celebration he's got up his sleeve when he does, if he does get a wicket.
Yeah, it's been a very good over, needed after that 23 off Mitten. Oh, it's furious. You heard the cries of anguish from Shamsi. Just ruins the over somewhat. It goes for 10 in the end, and the Tigers are 66 for 1. Well, even with that last one, it only went for double figures, it went for 10, but look at it. It's a bungalow as opposed to those other buildings. So, run rate just a quiet little 16 and a half. The Warriors have been put to the sword here by the Tigers. Last ball, yeah, very frustrating. Just a fraction short and wide. That's all it has to be on this good surface. Here's Neesham. And there goes Neesham. He's lucky there's protection out there. 20 balls, and they've brought up 50, these two. So going along rather sweetly.
Certainly are going along sweetly. Cox really timing the ball beautifully. Sal Mendes also supporting his team man. Neesham into the attack. Bit of pace and bit of spin from the other end.
Mr. Abbas, he's sidelined. Funnily enough, he's been sacked from the playing 11 to his performance last night. Now, a little Rick O'Shea off the stumps. I thought about 2. Some very tidy keeping so far from Mr. Chopra. Well, sponsors, you've got to have these sponsors, and without them, well, you just simply don't have a product. Snowball Money, scan the QR and receive that T10 digital rewards. Visit us, cricket.snowball.money. Mr. Snowball Money. Well, it should be a movie, I reckon, Snowball Money. Probably will be soon. Here we go, straight up. Somebody get there, Choppers! He's got there! That's why he's in the side tonight. Rahul Chopra with the gloves on takes a goodie.
Well, well, well. The Warriors have struck again. Well, that's a legitimate delivery. Banged in. Casal Mendes trying to pick it up over square leg. All he does manage to do is hit it straight up in the air. Chopra taking a smart catch. And Nisham has struck for the Warriors. Mendes goes for 20. Tigers 69 for 2.
It's Miller time. It's 6:24 p.m. local time. Very good numbers from a very good player. The left-handed David Miller is now out in the centre at number 4, and well, it's a pretty comfortable position of 69 for 2, going at 15.3 runs per over so far. Cox is beautifully set. He's striking at 250 as per. 3 and 3. 3 6s, 3 4s. Here's Miller with his first one against Nisham. And he's underway. I feel good getting off the mark. And there's a good catch from Chopra. Big high steepler into the night sky.
Try to hook it into the leg side. What he manages to do is get a top edge. Chopra focused and delivers for the Warriors. The Tigers, well, they lose another wicket. Although they're nicely set, 70 for 2. And only 2 balls left before they've had their 5 overs. That was a little bit of shape there, Danny.
Yeah, Nisham liked it. Certainly just pitched and went, didn't it? And that extra bit of bounce you just occasionally get here. Just sometimes just a bit more exaggerated bounce, and the players have said sometimes a little bit spongy, just goes through a bit more. Going about a new ball, well, it's only 10 overs, isn't it? So even after 8 overs, it's still a relatively new ball. So coming to the end of the 5th, so you hit that seam, and certainly it can go. He's bowling with the breeze behind him as Jimmy Nisham, so he's got some good rhythm, it looks like. It's a slow ball. Wonderful deception from Nisham. And it's the big fish. Jordan Cox is set, and now he's got to go.
Yeah, smart bowling there by Nisham. He knew Cox was probably going to try and play a big shot. Nothing wrong with that. Manages to bowl that leg cutter, slower delivery, and beats Cox all ends up. As the ball hammers into the stumps, Cox departs for 35. Tigers 70 for 3.
Rasun Shanika now, 21 games, average of just under 20, strike rate healthy, 185.26, best of 37 not out, they could do with that. Here, Cox, who was really threatening 35 off 16, has just departed. So a seriously important stage in this game.
Yeah, good bit of captaincy, both Shamsian and Nisham. This was the wicket, and in the last 2 overs, they've lost 2 wickets. At only 14 runs, and the run rate has dropped a little bit to around about 7. Well, that was a welcome wide for the Tigers, 71 for 3, and they've still got 5 overs to go. Hazy.
Yeah, it's still a perfect situation right now for the Warriors, because Miller, who's a very dangerous player, we haven't seen the best of him so far, and he's just arrived. Shanika also can thump it, just arrived. So fascinating position of this game. Oh, what a delivery that is. That's a beauty. Cursory glance from David Miller.
Well, it's doing a bit out there. Umazai hitting the seam. Look at this delivery. Look at that. Well, that's a good delivery in any form of the game.
That's a beauty. Look at this guy. Seems to be the case when you don't score too many runs. You're not feeling as confident as you would like to, that you get a couple of good deliveries. Pulls that one away strong. There is protection though. Neesham coming back for the second. Miller. Good running. Well, they were screaming along at one stage. They continue at this rate, they'll get to the 136 mark. There's Umazai's career, 7 at just over 11. Not too bad with the areas that he does bowl. Anything around 10 is really, really good. 15 and over, gets him to 143. Nice strong drive down the ground, good stuff from Miller. 4 runs.
Well, a great display of power and placement. Beautifully executed straight down the ground. Well, there are no fielders down there. That is for sure.
Water is coming around.
Yeah, that's you did right, Owe. So it was really good work for Miller to get it so straight. In the air. Safely though.
Smart batting. Turn the strike over. You've got your boundary. And now Dasan Shanika is on strike. Yet to open his account.
Coming over to you.
As I've been told, he hasn't faced the ball. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
He's about to face his first delivery.
Two balls left in the over. 8 from it so far. Wide off the first. That's the penalty ball at the end. It's a wide delivery. It's okay though. Inside that guideline, the blue guideline.
A 9 dot ball so far in this innings. Umazai getting 2 of those. 8 runs off Umazai's over so far. Last ball coming up off the 6th over. Third man into the ring now.
Oh, he's missed that. So that's a dot ball. So that's in the end. Seriously good. 8 from it. 6 gone. 78 for 3. Interesting Manhattan graph that. 3 good overs, then suddenly things dropped on 4th, but then 2 wickets in the 5th and rebuilding in the 6th. So they've certainly slowed down considerably. Just also want to point out that the Tigers scored the most runs this season, overs 8 to 10 against Deccan Chargers, Deccan Gladiators, when they got 60. Matun again. Expensive first over.
Mithun bowling his second over. Proved rather expensive in his first one. Went for 23 runs off his first over. I'm surprised the captain has trusted enough in him to deliver the second one. Shanika in front of him.
Sliding leg side, a fraction, but just tucked away for 1. He's got to make sure this is a good over, Mitten. It's a hard over to bowl, over number 7, but his first one went for plenty. Didn't help with that waist-high full toss, above waist-high full toss first up. That was costly. Went for 4 as well. Nice and fine, clever. Miller is a clever cricketer.
Well, a clever shot. He's got the power. And that shot shows he also has a touch of finesse in his game. Watches it all the way. And thank you very much. Third man's up. I'll just run it past him and get 4 runs.
He stands so still these days, David Miller. Big change in his technique over the last couple of years. What does Matwin want to do? 29 now off 1.5 overs, so he's chasing leather. Missed out that time, did Miller? The third man was put down on the fence, nice and fine, and Miller tried to run it a little bit wider of him that time.
Yeah, good comeback by Mitton. Good answer. Dot ball, pitched and left him. There is a little bit in the wicket still. If you bend your back and you put it in the right area with the seam upright, you are able to extract some type of movement, which is essential, especially in this format of the game.
His swing doesn't last for too long, but there still seems to be a little bit of seam around the place.
That time seam back into the dangerous Miller. Cramped him for room. Still manages to get a single. Gets Shanaka on strike. 85 for 3. One more delivery left in the 7th over.
Now suddenly they're tracking this back nicely. The Warriors. They continue at this rate now. They get to 1-2-4. Important last delivery for the spell for Mitton. Slow delivery. Hammers that down the ground. How far has it gone? 6 runs. That's how far it's gone. What a way to sign off that over. They needed, I guess, 13 from it. 7 gone. 91 for 3. Jimmy Neesham, brilliant, 1 over 2 for 4. Outstanding work from him. Omazai also 1 over none for 8, so really good. Shamsi, 10 off his first. The seamers at the top there getting some tap, going at over 15 each of them. Shamsi to complete his second now.
Yeah, a big moment in the game here. Sultan, left arm spinner. And he's got the dangerous Miller on strike. I'd imagine Miller will be trying to target that leg side. So it'll be interesting to see the line and length that Sultan's going to bowl.
Wide to start with.
Sorry, I meant Shamsi. My bad.
No, so very well, of course, David Miller. Angelo Matthews is just starting to get loose. He's going to be in action soon. Keeb looking on. Work from Shamsi. Still got 8 balls. I can't believe that first ball wasn't called a wide, by the way. Well, that's got to be called a wide. Should be 2 wides in my book.
Nobody, boy!
Have a look at that 6 of the last ball of the previous over. Shanaka picking the slow ball and dispatching it beautifully. And would you believe it, by the reaction of Tabriz Shamsi, I think that was a drop catch. Miller.
Yeah, definite nick. Rattling around in those gloves. Dragging that one on the leg side. Calls to the bowler, safely home. Wow, that one's down. There's the keeper who had a tough time yesterday, Abbas. Lots of extras. What was it? Something like 17, 18 extras yesterday. Only 5 at this stage, and that was 4 wides. Shams again. Miller walking across. Hammered that. 4 runs. Good shot from Miller.
Smart batting by Miller. Knows exactly what Shamsi's trying to do. Bowl it slower and wider. So he walks over to the offside and hoiks it into that gap through mid-wicket. Another boundary for the Tigers as they are only 2 runs short of getting up the 100. Tossed up. And thank you very much. You're out of here.
Clean hit. Shamsi just smacking himself on the head as well as he walks back. He knows that's exactly where you don't bowl to David Miller in his arc.
Yep, you're right, Danny. Sorry, Hazy. If it's in his arc, it's out the park.
Last ball, 13 off this so far. Oh, he's got a little bit of a nick on that one. And they scamper through for 1. So 14 off, 8 gone, 105 for 3. Two overs remaining now. This is where the Tigers have been good in the past. Miller's there as well. Now Shamsi and Miller just having a bit of fun at the end of that over. Storming after he was. Gives him a little bit of a push as well. Yeah, they're good mates, of course, but there's a little bit of competition out there. Miller goes to the umpire and says, surely that was a wide first up. And he's pushing me now. Then he gives him a smack on the backside with the bat. Shamsi steps back and says, there's a blue line. I was looking at that. Neesham. 2 straights, picked up superbly. Great way to start the over.
Well, Miller has picked that up straight out of the middle. I'm not sure what Shamsi said to him, but it is inspired him to put that one out of the ground.
Well, there's a couple of things you do when you're bowling David Miller. One is you don't bowl straight to him so he can play those sort of shots, and you've got to be really careful about your length, and that was wrong also from Neesham. Anything in the good length area, he's just going to launch at this stage. He's so strong and such a clean hitter. That's a better length to bowl to Miller. Coming back for the second though, back on strike.
Yeah, smart running. Knew he could have easily come back for 2 as long as they run the first one hard. Shanakar pushing his man Miller to get back on strike as he moves on to 34 of just 17 deliveries. Tigers 113 for 3, and he's still got 6 balls left after this over.
Yeah, they're surely eyeing 140, surely. Maybe pass that if Miller's there at the death. Dragging that. Calls 2 again. Comfortably back now.
Pressure on the fielders there. Shanakar doing his best to get his man on strike. Miller trying to push his partner. Miller moving on to now 36. And looking very dangerous.
I've got their supporters too, the Tigers. .36 off 18 for David Miller. That's a clean hit, but it's only going to be 1, I think. No, coming back. A little stumble at the end. 2 more.
12 off this over so far. 2 more deliveries left. Yeah, you're right, Hazy. I think 140 is what they'll be eyeing up.
which does mean they're going to have to finish big on the next 2 balls. Ideally, 1 boundary off one of them. Matthews has still got 1 over to bowl, and he's going to bowl the last, I'm sure. A little bit squarer that time, streaming away for 4. Better placement that time for Miller. He was waiting for it. 50 stand as well of just 25 deliveries.
Well, you said, Hazy, you have to finish well here in this over. And Miller's doing exactly that, short and wide. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Neesham. 16 already now of this over. Last delivery of the 9th over coming up.
It's a tough over now to Miller. Flipped away on the onside. It's going to be safe. Coming back for 2. He's not going to retain the strike. 2's fine. And that's a good over. 18 from it. 123 for 3. One over to go, but we're going to just focus on Snowball Money for the moment. Scan that QR code to receive T10 digital rewards, or you can visit cricket.snowball.money. David Miller's on the money at the moment, 44 of 21. $14 runs off this over, gets them to 137. 17 gets to that 140 I was talking about. Skipper's got the hard yards. Both back, long off, long on. That's the width that he's looking to bowl at the moment to Shanaka. Of course, he knows Shanaka very well. Matthews will be happy to bowl as many as he can to him, I'm sure. Off ball to start the over. Just picks that up. Good shot. Nicely played. 6 runs. Good work from Shanaka.
That's a poor delivery. Shanaka, if there is an area he's strong in, it is exactly that. Hip high on leg stump. And he will hit you out of the ground all day long.
Matthews will know that extremely well. Right, so now Matthews got to get that line right for starters. Square on the offside is unprotected. Swipes at that. Wide's called. Matthews just has a bit of look at the blue line, just as a double check. It's just a guideline, that blue line for the umpires. It's their prerogative to call it how they feel it is. Bad news for Angelo Matthews. This has been called a wide. Good crowd in the end, eh? That's great to see. A little bit wider that time, toe into the bat. Single only.
Well, I don't think the Tigers would mind that, because that means that Miller is on strike, who is only 1 blow away, which means he could possibly bring up the second 50 in Abu Dhabi T10 cricket. 3 deliveries left in this over. Angelo Matthews just getting that field right, getting that extra cover man a little bit straighter, and asking that man at deep square leg to move that little bit squarer.
Taking his time now, Angelo Matthews, to make sure this field is right. Third inside the circle has been moved finer. Oh, it's nicely bowled too, nice and tight. Good line. Good line to David Miller. Bit of an extra zip on that delivery. A couple of dot balls in this over, and one that's gone for 1 as well.
a rare dot ball when Miller's on strike. He's done pretty well, 44 of just 22 deliveries this time. Now Matthews getting that man who's just on the short third man boundary.
Just pick that up. He wanted to do that. He was itching to do it. That is his second 50 in the Abu Dhabi T10. It's been a top knock from David Miller. Loved by his players in the dugout as well, and this good crowd here is putting on a show. Good work from Miller.
Well, Miller living up to his reputation. He really has batted unbelievably well. 23 ball 50, and he brings it out with that monster over deep mid-wicket.
4 4s and 3 6s. And the bad news for Angelo Matthews is there's one more ball to go. So they've got that 14 that I was talking about earlier. Can they get to that 140 mark? I mean, they won't run 3 runs, I'm sure, unless there's an overthrow. So it'll have to be